So this is the second time that Oracle has been involved with Orange on a hackathon to this level or magnitude. And the first one was very much focused on the developers. We brought a lot of college students, a lot of garage developers, or what we call ponytail developers, some very cool and innovative ideas. We want to build on that success and take it to the next step. Fundamentally, BIHAPI stands for Business Intelligence Hackathon API. And the reason we're focusing on businesses now, we can take what was done with the college university developer and now layer on top of that from the business community. I think what we see fundamentally from BIHAPI is the fusion or the mashing together of what you have in other worlds besides communications. So we can go look at governments, we can go look at government agencies, we can look at weather systems, we can look at traffic systems, parking systems, systems that you have to deal with on a normal day-to-day basis and provide that to a developer to come up with new and interesting, cool applications. I think it takes it well beyond your typical just making a phone call or doing a video call or getting a text, because now we can mash that up with other types of social interactions that we use. And there's a whole bunch of ideas out there that we can't even think of. Let the business community or let the university students dream these up and bring them to the table. They now have this at their fingertips. They now have the access to the Orange labs through the Oracle platforms, the APIs and the WebRTC to build those applications, which they couldn't do before. So I think that's a new age of development, new age of innovation. When I want to talk to my boss, I know I can instant message him. But when I talk to my wife, I have to call her on the phone. And my daughter is always on Facebook. And so I have different ways and different means of talking to someone. If it's emergency, I send a text, I write an email, and I make a phone call. You know, so I have all these different, I want to say, fracture ways of communicating. If I can bring them together in interesting new ways, that would be useful. One example was I had a medical emergency only 2 weeks ago. I was being rushed to the emergency room, and I arrived there only to be confronted with all the paperwork before I could even get service. I did all the paperwork, and even after I did all the paperwork, the doctor came and said, we have to send you someplace else. Do all the paperwork again. If on my way to the emergency room, they could get my data records and have them all ready, and even have the diagnosis of my problem by the time I arrived, that would have saved me an hour. And that process was just as painful as the process I was going through with the emergency. So those kind of applications would be hugely beneficial. You know, the problems that we're running or confronting today, let's try to solve them with things like BIHAPI. WebRTC fundamentally just means web real-time communications, and what the W3C is, the Worldwide Web Consortium, have done is they designed or built a standard JavaScript API for developers to access high-definition video, audio, and the data channel inside a browser. That's really it. It allows a developer to use the media, that is video, audio, and data. Now, what we're doing at Oracle and at Orange is to say, let's take that, what a browser-to-browser communication can do, and let's connect that to any and all networks. So WebRTC makes your browser not only a smart device, but it also makes it a phone that you can do video conferencing. And then this data channel, or real-time data channel, allows us to do other interesting things, like now we can do medical feeds, get a heart rate real time, or take a look at real-time data. So not only do I have a video and audio, but now I can start looking at things like medical, traffic problems, weather problems, and then have that interaction with a person or a group of people, as well as looking at the data at the same time. So it brings the whole context together on the browser. So it's a very revolutionary in that we're bringing what's going on in the web world and what's going on in the network world together in one space.